Hello everyone, I'm Luke Neller and welcome to Best Few Plays of the Week. This week we have a Stug III spotting for artillery, a Jumbo Sherman racing against the clock, and the Amazing Haudini. Enjoy! The star of this week's steel wall is the Soviet T-54, famous for its bouncy turret. It's a tough machine for sure, but Haudini from the EU region makes it seem utterly indestructible. Haudini pushes far ahead of the Allies and opens fire. The Great Escape Artist's turret is painted with four-leaf clovers, and due to luck or skill, it bounces everything thrown at it. Haudini is up to 3 kills, and with minimal damage. The only serious threat is a Störer Emil taking shots from the rear. Okay, some of that is starting to sting a little. Maybe it's time to get closer. First, this pesky AMX. And then this impatient guy who couldn't wait for his turn. The finale is making an enemy T-54 disappear. The arrival puts up a fight, and allies are eager to take the kill as well. It doesn't matter, a performance like this deserves a Top Gun ending, and that is what we get. A whopping steel wall worthy 8,000 blocked and 7.5k dealt. That's 38 non-penetrating hits. What a show from the great Haudini! In the next replay, Kianko from the Asian region plays as a Confederate on Malinevka. The battle is an encounter, and Kion's machine is in the middle of the list. The Stug III is a classic tank destroyer, best used as a stealthy sniper. The Panzer III chassis gives it a high speed, which helps in getting into position before the opponents arrive. Kion makes full use of the TD strength, and pours a torrent of fire onto the distant foes. An audacious enemy gets into cover in the capture circle, but allies finish it off anyway. These bushes have served their purpose, and it's time to go hunting. A low-tier medium threatens the team's artillery, but Kion soon puts a stop to that. The Matilda seems like an easy mark, but firing on it gives away Kion's position. An artillery strike breaks a track, but a speedy repair kit use means that the Stug barely slows down. Kion hunts down the nippy British SPG, avoiding retaliatory strikes by a narrow margin. That leaves 2 SPGs to deal with. The Stug has terrible accuracy on the move, but all it needs to do is to spot the targets for the Allies. Victory comes with a team effort. A classic TD game with a nice Confederate spirit. Well played. We move on to an encounter at Redshire, where Mieczyslav 83 from the EU region goes on a Top Gun rampage in a T-44. The match starts almost like a sniper replay, with Mieczyslav taking the high ground and providing long-range fire support. Things warm up when the enemies drive into the capture circle and the T-44 drives into close combat. Another bout of long-range sniping follows, ending with a charge and a kill at close range. This Yagdpanther takes some killing, and all the allies are dead before it finally goes down. The next opponent is already here. The Nashorn lands 2 hits and damages the ammo rack before dying. The T-44 can't take this kind of punishment for much longer. The remaining enemies are all in Tier 8 machines, except for this T-29. The Heavy survives the first hit, but dies without firing a shot. An untouched IS-3 is approaching like the wrath of God. Mieczyslav would need to kill the Super Pershing first, but there's only time for a single shot. The Heavy goes for a round, but a detracking shot stops it dead. The Pershing floods its shot, and Mieczyslav takes the opportunity to put it out of its misery. Mieczyslav opens up some distance to the IS-3 and runs straight into a Ferdinand. APCR rounds bounce off its thick hide, but the superior agility of the T-44 carries the day. That's 10 kills with a full health IS-3 to go. Mieczyslav can't risk a single hit, and if that wasn't enough, the ammunition is starting to run out. Mieczyslav takes the scenic route around the map, and the enemy starts the capture attempt. Approaching from this direction catches the IS-3 looking the wrong way. The Mieczyslav wastes a shell on a snapshot. Another trip around the countryside, and another attempt, this time from ambush. That's more like it, but killing it like this would take forever. Mieczyslav heads into the capture zone and challenges the IS to a close-range fight. Another shell is wasted, but the next two punch through the armor. The IS lands a shot as well, but it fails to penetrate the turrets. Mieczyslav should paint on some of those clovers after that. Just 2 real shells left now. The first one strikes through, but the enemy would have reloaded now. Mieczyslav hesitates and retreats when the IS-3 goes on the attack. The T-44 climbs the hill and catches the opponent peeking cautiously around its edge. Check and mate, buddy. Mobility beats armor. What an excellent Top Gun game, with a nice medium versus heavy demonstration at the end. Li Shangwang from the North American region defends the base in a Jagdpanther. The match is a standard battle on Lakeville, and the big German TD is on top tier. Teammates fan out across the map while Wang takes a position overlooking the little lake. A shot pings off the front armor and the Jagdpanther falls back towards the capture circle. The first victim is a Tiger II on the other side of the lake. The Allies are overwhelmed in the city and Wang has to retreat into cover. The Jagdpanther takes a pounding, but as soon as it's in cover, it's time for payback. The mighty 128mm deals hammer blows to the enemies, but they are starting to get through the Jagdpanther's front armor surprisingly often. The enemy advance seemed to have stalled, and Wang takes out a T-54 for good measure. The relative calm lasts only for moments, however, as the enemies push right up to the base with another T-54 in the capture circle. That takes care of him, and the Bulldog can go back to the garage as well. An IS-3 pushes into the circle, but it doesn't last for long. The Defender is up to a Top Gun already, but the enemies just keep on coming. The remaining Allies help with taking out an IS-3 autoloader, but one of them bites the dust only moments later. The killer reveals themselves, and justice is swift and deadly. Wang is spotted and nearly killed from behind. It's yet another T-54! No wonder they're called cockroaches, as they seem to be everywhere. It takes a while to get to it, but when the shoe comes down, the roach is no more. The ally is putting up a valiant defense, but it's best to lend a hand. 10 down, 2 more to get. Wang peeks west, turns back, and comes close to being killed from behind. Close doesn't count though, and the enemies are down to a single IS. So where is the last tank? As it happens, they have fallen victim to the new physics. Or maybe this is just some next level tactic I can't figure out. Either way, it doesn't work and the Defender ends the game with 12 kills. Only 55 defense points, but Wang is definitely the Defender of the Week. Congratulations! The last replay of the day comes from North America, where Dormeur will do whatever it takes to secure the victory. The map is Abbey, and the M4A3E2 Sherman Jumbo is top tier. Dormeur is using the 105mm howitzer. As you can see, it's a powerful gun. If you can manage to land a hit, that is. A Panzerfia harasses the platoon mate, but a quick double tap takes care of that. A T-67 goes for the ally as well, and is swiftly dealt with. There are more enemies here, and try as they might, they just can't get through the Jumbo's armor. Protecting the wounded platoon mate is getting difficult, however. An enemy Sherman charges the friendly SPG. A fast target at nearly 400 meters? Not a problem. An Excelsior turns up in the Abbey, but it quickly learns it's not welcome here. Dormeur knocks out an SPG, but the Allied one is toast as well. A KV-85 attacks from the side, but it goes down without causing any damage. The OI lands a massive hit. Luckily, even a Jumbo can accelerate downhill, and medium tank tactics work well on the Behemoth. The last ally is dead as well, and the enemies are about to capture the base. Dormeur gives it all she's got, and is just in time to reset the capture for 100%! Whew! The enemies didn't like that one bit, and they aren't shy about letting Dormeur know about it. Shots ping off the Jumbo and artillery strikes very close. The KV finds a weak spot in the armor and takes the Jumbo below 100 HP before dying itself. Dormeur loops around to the other side of the hill and resets the capture once again, this time from 88%. Staying here to kill the Churchill was risky, as the arty must be lining up a shot. It takes 2 more shots to finish off the heavy, with enough time left to hug the cliffside for cover. That's 10 kills, with 1 SPG left to deal with. The Jumbo is so beat up that a shotgun attack would finish it off, so this has to be done right. At the enemy base, it turns out the arty has gone for a cap. The slow Jumbo has to race the capture bar for the 3rd time, and once again, it proves to be fast enough. The opponent takes a shot, misses, and seems to give up the fight. The SPG could back up and reload, but instead it just accepts its fate. Good game. That's what we call a crucial contribution, with 11 kills, a ton of damage dealt, and a chest full of medals. Congratulations! That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Those were some tough names needing to be read this episode, but I'm Luke Neller, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. The relative calm lasts only for moments, however, as I hit the microphone stand. While Wang takes their position overlocking? That's 10 kills with a full elf. Dormeur gives us all she's got, Captain!